Hi guys, how are y'all doing? Alright, I was trying to set up. It's funny when I don't do this every week. I kind of have a difficult time doing it. But guess what? We managed to do it and we're on here. And I'm going to, I know we're halfway into January and I still have this pup with a Santa hat, but you know, I have to finish it, right? So hey, God's Desire, welcome in. How are you? Hey, Chew. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome in. I mean, I know I was gone for a good minute there, right? And I only came back, last week I was gone, but the week before that I came back. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, last week I meant to come on. I'm not going to do Wednesdays anymore, and I know I need to go in there and like update my description and all of that. But I haven't found the time to do it. But I'm not going to do Wednesdays anymore unless it's like a pop-up, like I may do a pop-up on a Wednesday here and there, but I think I'm going to just stick to Thursdays and Fridays, or at least that's what I'm going to attempt to do. But it's not going to be at 9, and I know I have to change all that, so it's probably going to be like, I don't know, between like 10 and midnight when I actually go live. I've just been really busy with all kinds of stuff, and I really haven't had the time or energy. If y'all hear me drinking, I'm really cold, so I have hot chocolate in 1 cup, and then I have my nighttime tea in another. I think I'm trying to come down with something. I hope not, but I've been, well, I don't even know if you were here, God's Desire, but with the keto, and then I went off of keto basically for like the week of Christmas all the way through like New Year's. And when I mean I went off of keto, I mean like I had all the junk food that I have missed out on for like 2 years. So like I was not playing, oh my gosh. But anyway, so when I was like, okay, this is done now and we're going back. So I think I got the keto flu. And so I'm hoping that was it and that it's not me coming down with something, because I have felt a little bit better like yesterday and today. But for like, I guess it was probably for like a week, I was like just so beat, so like exhausted, like everything, like, everything that the keto food does to you. And that's how I was. So I'm hoping that was it and that it's nothing, but I still don't feel great, which is why I have hot chocolate and my tea. And I have my hot chocolate because I have, I was going to only drink my tea, but I was like, I didn't, because again, I haven't felt the greatest. So I didn't eat very much. And I know that my body needs, something. So I put my collagen. I didn't want my collagen in my tea because that to me is just not right. But so I needed something to put my collagen in. So that's why I made hot chocolate to put my collagen in there. It's good to hear that you are doing good. Hi, Linda. Welcome in. How are you doing? Hey, Regina. Welcome in. I know, right? When I tell you I had, oh my gosh, I had so much junk food. And yes, it made me sick, okay? But I missed it. I was like, this is my time. Because, it'll be, who knows? I mean, it was well, I say it was 2 years, but really, when we went on that vacation in July. But even at that, that wasn't like just like all junk food. That was like, breaded seafood and, um, it was carbs, right? But it was not junk food. When I tell you I ate all the carbs I wanted, as in like all the different foods, but also like the junk, I had I had candy. I had so much candy. I had so many chips. I had Y'all, I had soda. I haven't had soda in like, I don't know, almost like 20 years. It's been a long time since I've had soda. I had sodas. Um, I had like little cakes and cupcakes and cookies and brownies and um, I did have beans. I love beans, and being on the keto, I can't have the beans. So I did consume a lot of beans. So that was carbs, so that wasn't junk food. Um, I had so much, yeah, so much. And I think that's probably why the keto flu hit me hard, was because I went from all that carb and all that sugar to like nothing. Because I got to do it that way, because I know me. Because even if I'm like, okay, I have to ease back into the keto, which you can, but with me and being the sugar addict that I am, I can't do that. I have to do it cold turkey. And I have to suffer through the keto flu and then be like, okay, like I don't want to do that for a while, kind of thing. I know it's wrong, but I can't help it. That's just the way it is. And this says can't stay. Stop it. You too, Linda. You have a wonderful and blessed night. All right, so I'm going to continue with this little puppy, and let's see what. I haven't worked on him since whenever we were on here. I think I'll do. I'm going to do these dashes. What color is that? A16. And I've started working, and I was going to do it today, but I think I'm going to do it tomorrow. On my, I know I know those of y'all that were around last year know that I was going to work on a Green Bay blanket, and so I started working on it. And I need to work on it more. I just don't know how comfortable it's going to be in this area. But I will be working on that, and that's probably what I'm going to be working on tomorrow. It's coming out pretty nice. It's got quite a few hours into it. I like doing it on the couch though, but my setup over there, I've moved things around, so my setup over there is, I'm not set up properly to do it comfortably on the couch, so I'd have to come over here and do it. Which I could go over there and do it now, but I was going to come live earlier, and then I got, I opened up YouTube and to look at stuff, and there was so many people, which is why I decided to do the diamond painting as well. There was quite a few crocheters on there. And so I don't like stepping on anybody's toes and stuff like that. So I was like, let me just go on and just do some diamond painting, and that way it's a different thing, and maybe I'll get a thumbnail up for tomorrow. And I say maybe because just I haven't been able to get on a good schedule here lately, so it is what it is though, right? I put down sometimes people are not watching the screen, so I'll say, God's Desire says, are you planting a spring garden this year? You know, I've been talking about how we wanted to like undo that whole area up there because of all the weeds, and we did not do that. And I don't think it's like a weekend job, so I don't think that it's something that, you know, I can just do. Like hubby has a long weekend coming up. I don't think that's something that we can knock out in that short amount of time. But I did plant some carrots. I threw down some carrot seeds, and I say I planted. I didn't like do anything in house. I threw out some carrot seeds out there. I threw out, and just on my 2 side beds and in bags, because I'm not sure that I want to mess with the big garden because it was just such a nightmare this past year. So I think if we don't do what we have to do out there, I'm not going to plant anything out there. I mean, some stuff is perennial, so that'll come back, whatever didn't get killed by all the weeds. But I did carrot seeds, and I did radish seeds, some greens. What greens did I do? You know what, God's Desire? I did that like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I haven't been out there. So it's only gotten water. Well, I mean, initial water, and then whatever rain we've gotten. So I haven't been out there to like check on it or do anything with it. I was trying to think. I think I did something else. I need to, within the next couple of weeks, start my tomatoes, my peppers inside, so that those are ready, you know, when the time comes. But I haven't, like, normally by this time I have like my garden like planted out, you know. I do it like on the app and on the computer, and I have all my seeds out and all that, and I just haven't had the time. So I'm hoping that I will grow something, you know, that something will grow anyway. I'm definitely, because I'm not going to be planting the big garden unless we get that done, and I say I'm not going to because I just don't see us getting it done. Getting it done in time. I lost my train of thought. So if we get it done in time, I will, but I don't see us doing it because it's a lot of work. I saw a whole bunch of these, and now I can't find them. How are you doing with your spring garden? Are you get some stuff in the ground? Thank you, Regina. Let's see, I have some tomatoes and peppers still hanging on from, oh, wow. That's awesome. You're praying they make it through this freeze. Are they still outside, or are they well, they're not outside. It would be too cold for them, right? They're in the greenhouse. Hey, Melissa, welcome in. Let's see, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. Yes. So you have your peppers and your tomatoes from last year, but have you put anything in? I can't even think of the greens that I put in. So I have two side beds planted, and those are 3 by 9, so they're pretty big. And then I planted, I think it was either two 10-gallon bags or two 20-gallon bags. But I guess just because this last year just was not very positive for me, and in the gardening, just like, I mean, I hope they do great, but I'm just not expecting it. Yeah, but that happens with gardening, some years you do awesome, and then some years you just don't. But these weeds really just took it out of me. But I always have problem with weeds, which is why I think that we want to do that whole area. You have brassicas in your green stalks. Okay, yeah, they're in the greenhouse. I was gonna say, because it's been cold. What kind of brassicas are you growing in the green stock? I know you told me last year, but I'm like, there's not enough room. Well, in my green stalks, those strawberries that didn't make it, those are still there. So, I don't know if they'll do anything like this year, or if I'll just empty that out. I do see leaves in there, but there's no strawberries or anything, so there might be a few plants that are alive, but not very many. Not very many at all. Which kind of stinks, because I was pretty excited for those strawberries. But the grapes and the muscadines and the blueberries and raspberries, perennials, they're still all out there. So if nothing else, I can harvest, I'll get a harvest out of that. Because my carrots, I don't have, I think I have solutions for carrots, but they do what they want to do. I can't plant carrots and know that I'm gonna get a harvest, I mean, I'll get a carrot or two, but I won't get I can get 1 or 2 carrots, or no carrots, or a full harvest. But it doesn't matter if I do the same thing year after year. It can be any of those results, and I don't know why. Thank you, Regina. Thank you. Mustard, broccoli, really? Kale, collard greens, cauliflower, strawberries are still hanging on. I can't believe you've got all that in the stalks, because there's just not enough room. Like kale, yeah, I see kale and mustards. But I would think that the broccoli and the cauliflower would get so big. But I mean, you've been doing it for a while, so. Because usually for my cauliflowers and my cabbage and stuff like that, I give it a whole square. Although I did get those seeds that Charlotte recommended. Did I put some of those out there? I think I did. I put those, like the miniature cabbages that she recommended, for like growing in bags and stuff. I think I put some, those are in the beds. And I don't remember how many it said to plant in like whatever area, but that's however many. I planted several square, well, maybe two or four squares of those miniature cabbages. But like I said, I don't know if anything's doing anything because I haven't checked in on them. Normally this time of year, you know, I'm pretty excited for my garden, but I'm not there. Not there at all. Hey Mar, welcome in. Oh, you have cabbage out there too. Okay. Thank you. And so you did forest. What did you get? Did it do it? Oh, yep, you got a kangaroo. Let's see what I get, and then we'll do a Bible as well. Let's see. Oh, Jen is here. Jen, did I miss you coming in? Welcome in. All right, so I did forest. Did I get a forest? I got a fox. Jen got an owl. And then the Bible verse, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Psalms 23:4. We've gotten good Bible verses today, haven't we? It's only been 2 of them, but they've been good ones. And we got what? Psalms and Philippians. Oh, I can't say it. Wow. All right, so I think I finished those on that side, and we're gonna move it all around. So yeah, so a lot later than usual, but that's because, you know, I got on and so many people were on, and so then I watched for a little bit, and then I was like, I'm not gonna do that. I'll just diamond paint. Although ideally I don't want to be on here, you know, start out so late. This would be more like an ending time, but I was awake. I need to drink my hot chocolate. I need to drink my tea. So, and I need to finish this diamond painting. So I figured let's just go on live and knock it out of the way. Let's see, God's Desire did Bible. Oh wait, she did a joke. A man got hit in the head with a can of Coke, but he was all right because it was a soft drink. Okay. And then Bible, even though, oh, you got the same one. Was that yours or was that mine? No, yep, it's above too. So yeah, you got the same one. I think Jen just typed something. Quote, it's not your salary that makes you rich, it's your spending habits. I mean, I was dissecting that quote right there because I can see it, right? Because you got a good salary, you're rich, but then you got a habit of spending it all, but you're still rich, right? Because you're still getting another salary. Now, granted, if your salary stops coming in, then not so much, but you know. So what have y'all been up to? Let me do a quote. Let's see. Y'all know last time I was on here working on this, I couldn't find my tweezers, and I don't know where my tweezers are. I mean, I had the cheap tweezers that came with this storage. I'll put these out here just in case. I mean, they'll work. They're that plastic, cheap kind, but so I can find my other ones. Let's see my quote. When one door of happiness closes, another opens. But often we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one which has been opened for us. Yeah. That's so true, right? We get so stuck on what we've lost that we don't even notice what we've gained sometimes. Jokes. Why should you never trust a pig with a secret? Because it's bound to squeal. That's a good one. I like that one. Thank you, Mar. I like that joke. Yeah, did I finish those? Oh, that came off. I'm drinking my hot chocolate. I said I was drinking hot chocolate because I was cold, but now that I'm drinking my hot chocolate, I'm pretty hot. My hot chocolate is good. And yeah, I mean, I should be in my fasting window, and so hot chocolate is not part of my fast, but like I said, I needed to consume something because I'm all about fasting, but at the same time, I wasn't hungry and I didn't eat well, so the least I could do is put some protein and stuff into my body. That's another thing. When I was eating all that junk, there was no fasting. I was eating junk unless I was asleep. That's the only time I was not eating junk, was when I was sleeping. So that was bad. I don't even know how much weight I gained, but my gosh, I will tell you. Well, that's probably the least of my worries because my joints, my bones, so much of me was inflamed that I'm still hurting actually. They're getting better. My aches and pains, but some of them were so bad. And I know it was from all of that because I experienced it in July as well. And in July, I didn't eat like I did now. But I think that might have been the last of that. So yeah, so now we won't, we decided last year, I think it was well, this past year, around, I don't know when we decided it. Probably in July or August or something like that. We decided that we would break keto for Easter and Thanksgiving. Which I don't know why we picked Easter, because maybe just because it's like in the middle of the year, so that way we don't have to wait all year long. Because really for Easter, ham, I can have that. Deviled eggs, yeah, I can have that. Like, you know, like we normally don't eat like pies and stuff like that for like Easter. That's more like Thanksgiving and Christmas for us. So I don't know why we picked Easter unless it was just to have something in the middle of the year, because that kind of spreads it out evenly. So that'll work. But those are what we picked, that we would on that day. Well, whether we did it on that day or we did it like on the weekend, because sometimes we wait to like celebrate like on the weekend instead. That we could, have the stuff that's not good for us. So, which is a lot, because there for like almost 2 years, it was absolutely no cheating whatsoever. So that's a big change. But you know, I think for us to like continue to stick with it long term, like I think we do need to allow ourselves those little breaks, and we need to be reminded of, like I mean, I know what it's done for me, right? But when you go without aches and pains for a long time, you're like, oh, like, I don't know, like you tend to forget. And then you eat that and you're like, oh yeah, it really is that. Nothing beats that one time that left us both scratching our heads for a second. What time, Jen? Remind me. Nothing beats that one time that left us both scratching our heads for a second. Let's see. Let's put some hearts out there. Thank y'all. I don't even know if I've said it. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you very much. If you're in the chat, thank you so much. If you're just in the bushes or in the balcony, the bushes sounds kind of funny, right? Like you're in the bushes, like you're not supposed to be here. That's what I always say, because that's what I've like people on YouTube say, or that I've been around. But I like Linda, that was here a little bit ago. She says, oh, like I left a comment like one time in her thing, and it was like I was in the bushes, I didn't feel like talking, because sometimes I don't feel like talking. And if you say something in the chat, then everybody wants to talk to you, and that's a good thing, right? It's a community. But sometimes we just don't want to talk for whatever reason. So I left her a comment, just wanted her to know that I had been there. And she was like, oh, you were up in the balcony. And I'm like, oh, wow, that sounds so much better, like, you're in the balcony, not like hiding in the bushes, but up in the balcony. So I think I might use that one, but I don't know. I've been using this one for a year. So it might take me a minute to get used to it. It was a joke, but the joke was on us because they didn't finish the joke. I acted like it was finished. Oh, I don't remember. You got a good memory, though. I don't. I do not. I have a menopausal memory. I laugh, but it's really not funny. And Jen, if you want, do your little message thingy of how long you've been a member. It should give it to you, right? I was never able to get my those memberships that I gave away like 2 weeks ago. I contacted YouTube. They didn't do nothing about it. They're lost. They're gone. So that stinks because that means I can't give memberships again till February, and then who knows if it'll happen again in February. And for those that don't know, last Thursday, not last Thursday, the Thursday before that, I went live, which was my first time back in a while. And I wanted to do the memberships. Yay, 6 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I wanted to, do the memberships. And so I did 5 that day, and YouTube did 2, just 2. The other 3 were just completely gone. And I was like, that is so weird. So I was like, okay, whatever, because sometimes dealing with it's just not even worth it. So I was like, okay, whatever. So the next night I come back and I'm like, okay, this is what happened last night, but I'm going to try it. And so I did it. And it didn't give any out that night. Not at all, not one. So I basically lost 8 of them. I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. Woohoo! Yes, woohoo! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's do your emoji. So yeah, so I don't know what's going on with them. I contacted them. I only did the one time though, and I haven't heard anything back. I try to be patient and give them time because I know they're busy. But I mean, that was, well, tomorrow. Well, I think that happened Friday, so I contacted them Saturday. So yeah, tomorrow will be 2 weeks. I think that they should have replied by now, right? Let's see. I think I'm going to do V12. And I've kind of tweaked my back as well, which is why I think that I'm not gonna be able to get that garden stuff this long weekend. It's been bothering me for a while, but here the last week or so, it's progressively getting worse. It just hurts. I'm sitting right now, but it'll hurt to sit, it'll hurt to stand, it'll hurt to lie down. I have to keep moving and rotating. And so for my prayer warriors that are listening to this, whether you're here live or whether you catch the replay, please keep me in your prayers because I have thrown out my back before, twice, which has left me bedridden for a couple of weeks, if not longer. It has been super bad. So when, this, it just scares me. I'm really careful with everything I do because I know how it was and I don't want to be like that ever again because that was bad. I couldn't, it was so bad. I needed help to get into bed. And so then Hubs had to go to work, right? So we had the zero gravity chair. We put the zero gravity chair in the room. And he had to help me to go to the restroom. He had to help me with the showers. I couldn't do anything to get from out of the bed just to make it to the zero gravity chair was excruciating. It was so much pain, but I knew I had to do it because laying in the bed is just not good, for long periods of time. But it was so bad. I couldn't even go to the bathroom by myself. And then he would have food. He would put we had the chair right next to the bed. And this is a little bit later. I still needed the chair, but he would put food where I could reach it on the bed, even though I was on the chair. And then my drinks were limited so that I wouldn't have to use the restroom because it was excruciating. And so then it was so bad. I had a walker, the 4-legged walkers. I had that just to go I don't know, a bathroom in the master bedroom. You don't have to walk very far, right? But I needed that. And that was like after I had healed up some. So yeah, so I don't want to, and that was twice. That was twice. It was, it's been a few years, but it's been within the last 10 years that it's happened to me twice. So I am just very cautious because it's not something that I want to deal with. Skullcap and valerian tea. For, I don't have either. I do. I got my little what's her name? The lady that won Alone. I think she won Alone. Dr. Apiliani, Nicola Apiliani, I think. I got her book like 2 years ago, but I just opened it recently. With all the, like, I have a whole bunch of like medicinal books, but let's see, I'm gonna write that down. I opened it, I was going through it, and I was like, oh, it's got a lot of good information in here. Valerian. I know years ago I had valerian. It wasn't tea. It was an herb, like it was a capsule. Because valerian tea, correct me if I'm wrong, that helps you to sleep, doesn't it? Is it like a muscle relaxer? What? Probably. Hey, Lori, welcome in. Good to see you. Let's see, greetings, greetings, greetings. I'm so sorry you went through that. Oh, thank you. It's okay. I just don't want to go through it again, which is why I was asking my prayer warriors to keep me in their prayers, because it's hurting now, and it's like gotten worse over the last week. I'm doing all my stretches and stuff because since I've dealt with it, like I know my stretches to do. And I've been taking, I don't like taking my stuff, but I've been taking a leave just to help, but it still hurts and it's very uncomfortable. Yes, muscle relaxer. Okay. But I may just get online and where do you get yours from, if you don't mind me asking? And get some. Because there's herbs that I grow for certain things, but for pain like this, like I don't want to say, because I do believe in herbs and I use herbs so much and they work, right? But like the pain is a lot, and I'm like, will an herb really take that away? Jen says can't stay, but wanted to step in for a minute. Glad to see you live. Well, thank you for coming in, Jen. I very much appreciate it, and I will see you soon, I imagine. I'm going to try to go live again tonight. I'm not making any promises, but I am going to try, but it'll be crochet. It won't be diamond painting because I'm working on that Star West Botanical. I'm working on that Green Bay blanket. And so I'm going to put it out here and see how comfortable that'll be for me. And that's what I'm hoping to crochet, because I want to get it done. I still have like many hours to go. But so that's probably what I'll be working on tomorrow or tonight. But thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. All right, my hot chocolate is gone, so I can now start on my tea. Okay, write that down. I think I get stuff from Star West. I'll have to bring them up. They're on Amazon, right? I think. Let's see. My puppy looks so weird on camera, all upside down. There we go. Let's see. Maybe they're not. Skull cap. Oh, I just clicked out of that. It was like 10% off. I clicked it off. I'm not going to get my 10% off. Oh well. I do like growing my herbs, but okay, they are. Because I do think I have some stuff from there. The herbs will work for you, especially being on keto clean system. All right, so this. Let's see, skull cap herb powder, skull cap herb cut and sifted organic. What would I want out of that? The powder, they come in one. Oh my goodness, that's outrageously expensive. I mean, the 1 pound is a much better deal than the 4 ounce. You're saving like half the money by getting the 1 pound, and then the cut and sifted, the leaf. They're, let's see, the 1 pound, they're out of that. Yeah, they're completely out of that. 4 ounce and 1 pound. So it would be the powder. Okay, and then valerian. You think if they're out of it on their website, they might still have it on Amazon? Let's see. You see, I'm doing it like right now because it's no joke. I specifically put in Star West and it gave me all these other folks. Okay, there we go, Star West. Nope, they don't have it. Let's see. I'm gonna try. Okay, no, there it is. There's. Okay, let me click on that real quick before it goes away. So it's a 4 ounce bag. They do have the 4 ounce bag. Skull cap herb. Oh no, it said leaf, and then I clicked on it, and it's powder. Sometimes cheaper. Frontier on Amazon is. Now I do use Frontier a lot. You think they have it? Frontier skull cap. Frontier Co-op organic skull cap, herb cut and sifted. Oh yeah, that's a much better price. That's like half the price. And I like Frontier. I haven't had any problems with Frontier. Okay. And then Valerian. Do I want just valerian root, right? I want the leaves, not like already made tea. Okay. All right. So, all right, I've got them in the cart. Let's see. Let's go to my cart because I have other stuff in the cart. I gotta see. Um, Cotton sifted, certified organic. Okay. Well, where'd the other one go? I clicked on it and it like I put it to my cart and it didn't go to my cart. It doesn't say they're out. Again, then make sure they didn't add it twice. Root, cut, and sift. Okay, that's what these both are. All right, so they're in my cart. And then I think I have to add a couple more things and then I can get this. Thank you very much. Because, I looked at that book, but I didn't even I don't know. I didn't think about it. And, sometimes you read stuff and it's like, does it really work? So then you hear it from somebody that you trust and you're like, okay, it works. So how do I make my tea from it? Like just like all the other teas, like where you do like a teaspoon of the dry stuff? And will I combine those, or do I need to do they need to be combined, or do I need to drink them separately? I'm glad you mentioned Frontier because that saved me like half the money. What's today? It's already Friday. So I probably won't get it till like Saturday or Sunday. Because my sleep time tea, my lemon balm and hibiscus, I just do, well, it's like a teaspoon per 8 ounces, but I do it like by the quart, but I make it stronger. So instead of like, that should be 4 teaspoons, right, for a quart. But because I mix them, I do the 4 teaspoons or like a heaping tablespoon of like the hibiscus, and then I do the same thing with the lemon balm. So it's actually getting like 8 or 9 teaspoons in there. And it works fine. I don't know. Because, I mean, I haven't dealt with valerian roots in probably decades, and then I don't believe I've ever taken skullcap at all. I don't even know much about it. Don't know anything about it, really. You can combine them 1 tablespoon of each. 1 tablespoon of each in just 8 ounces of water. You tell me what works. What you have done that works. 1 tablespoon of each. 8 ounces or 16 ounces. 1 teaspoon of valerian. So a tablespoon of skullcap and a teaspoon of valerian. 8 ounces or 12 ounces or 16 ounces. Because, you know, I drink stuff like my tea that I'm drinking now. I mean, I have a quart of it. I drink my teas by the quart. I mean, obviously, if it's a muscle relaxer, 12 ounces, okay. I'm going to write that down too. All right. 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon, 12 ounces water. Thank you very much for that. Well, I'm not even looking at, well, I did look at the chat, but that's on Restream. I'm going to look at the other because I still have this stuff up. Okay. Anyone want to share what they're working on? Why are you not sticking? Let's try that again. What V was I on? Knitting a dress? Like a child's dress or an adult dress? Just finished the shawl. Vest. Yes, I saw that, Lori. So pretty. That is turning 4 next month. It's rainbow sparkle yarn. And that was a lot of sparkle. She's gonna love that. Adult dress. Wow. When I entered, that one doesn't have any, push that in there. Didn't feel like it had any adhesive on it. It didn't want to stick. When I was doing the 70s, what was that called? The 70s Diva celebration, something or other, that was due in October, where I did the Star Wars amigurumis. I was going to crochet a dress, and I bought the pattern and I've got all the yarn for it, but then I was like, I'm not going to do it for that. And so I changed my mind like last minute and decided to do the amigurumis. But I'm looking forward to making that dress at some point, because I actually got, when I got the pattern, I think I got several different patterns because I wasn't sure which one I wanted to make. But knitting, that's adventurous. You're a pro now, right? Because you haven't stopped doing it. So you've probably pretty much mastered it. I think that's great. You were just able to pick it up. You're welcome. Life actually told me devotional time at the proper time. That is odd. You're laughing. You love it. That's great. I think that's great. You decided, I want to teach myself how to knit, and you asked questions, and then you did it, and remember well, of course you remember because you're the one that suffered. Remember from all that knitting how your neck was, and you just kept at it and kept at it, and look at you now. Today's devotional, the holy takeover. My grace is enough. It's all you need. My strength comes into its own in your weakness. Once I heard that, I was glad to let it happen. I quit focusing on the handicap and began appreciating the gift. It was a case of Christ's strength moving in on my weakness. Now I take limitations in stride, and with good cheer, these limitations that cut me down to size, abuse, accidents, opposition, bad breaks, I just let Christ take over. And so the weaker I get, the stronger I become. 2 Corinthians 12:9 and 10 MSG. Lord, you certainly have a way of turning my life upside down. When I'm feeling weak because of some calamity, illness, abuse, or a bad break, you come out in full force. As I become weaker and weaker, unable to handle things on my own, you show up in a big way and work through me. In fact, you make things perfect. So I'm making a point to stop focusing on what's wrong and to start focusing on you. I'm going to stay joyful no matter what limitations assail me. I'm going to step aside and let you take over. In that way, the weaker I get, the stronger in you I'll become. Amen. That was a good one. That was a really good one. I keep losing my things, y'all. I'll put something somewhere. Like when I did my live a couple weeks ago where I couldn't find the adapter, the mic adapter. I don't even know if I told you where I found it, because I don't even remember if that was Thursday. Yeah, I must have, because that was on Thursday and I came back on Friday. But it was in a crochet bag. And I'm like, why would I put it in a crochet bag? Like, it made no sense as to why it was in a bag. Because when I got off of here, I looked and looked and looked. Like, I was determined, like, I have got to find this or I'm going to have to order one. And thankfully, I found it way later. But then I was working on, I decided I wanted to make a shrimp amigurumi because I haven't made any amigurumis. Well, I've made the kitties that I showed y'all. Like, I made some of those. I don't even remember. But I think that was like right around where I wasn't coming on. And I think those were the last amigurumis that I made. And so I was like, oh, I was just sitting and I was like, I think I want to make a shrimp. And so I started on the shrimp. I didn't finish the shrimp. I'll show you what I have. But that's the first amigurumi of 2016. He's not finished. I don't know where I was going with this conversation. Talking about crocheting because I hadn't crocheted much since I wasn't on here. I just haven't. And then I decided I wanted to work on that blanket because that blanket was supposed to be either a birthday gift or a Christmas gift, which the birthday was in November and then Christmas was, last month. And so since it's football, I'm like, maybe I'll have it done by Super Bowl Sunday. But it's a Green Bay, and Green Bay is no longer stands a chance of going. So I'm like, eh. So, but this is my little shrimp. And so he's not finished, but he needs all his little whatevers and his eyes. He's cute. That's the first thing I've done this year on amigurumi. Thank you. He's not finished, but And then I was on a live, and Lydia, who comes in here a lot, she was making a little backpack, and I was like, "Oh, Lydia, what pattern?" And she goes, "My pattern." So she didn't have a pattern, so I was like, I really like that little bag. So I was like, okay, and so I figured out how to make one. Of course, I'm in the round because I like, working with amigurumis. Like, I like working in the round a lot. So it has the little, I just did that little button and comes undone, and then I tied that, but you can just untie it. So, and then it opens up, and so you can put chapstick in there. You can put, I don't know, something small. I mean, that's what, like 3 or 4 inches to like 3.5 inches long, and then probably this, maybe a little bit, I don't know. But, and then you can just cinch it, right? But then it has the little handle like backpacks have, and then it has the straps in the back. But I just saw her making one and I was like, "Oh, that looks so cute." So I made it. But y'all know I don't like crocheting. Like this is, I had to do it with a really small yarn because I didn't want to see like the holes coming through. And um, I don't like working with this really small yarn. But I was like, "Oh, that turned out cute." So that and that little shrimp, those are the two little things that I've done crochet other than the blanket that I'm working on. Hey Charlotte, welcome in. How are you? I've seen you in other, thank you. I've seen, Charlotte, I've seen you in other chats and stuff. And I've been dying to tell you, but I don't want to like bombard somebody's chat. But remember how we were talking about the fishies and like you told me what to buy and all that stuff? That same morning that we were talking, I let them sleep because I cover them up or whatever. And then when I got off of here with you, I was doing stuff. And then, anyway, then it wound up that it was time for them to get up, right? And I uncovered them, Charlotte. And, there was only 5 left in there, and 4 were dead. And it was so sad. And who would think you would get attached to fish that quickly? And then I put the stuff in there. Well, I didn't have all the stuff, right? So there was had got the salt, and I put it in there. And then the one that was left was one of the neons, and it wound up dying like within the next 24 hours. So I'm just woke up from a nap, hoping I go back to sleep before 3 or 4. Well, that only gives you like 3 or 4 hours. You think you will? So that tank is empty. But what I figured out, or what I think, because I don't know what I think after like doing a whole bunch of reading and watching a whole bunch of videos and stuff. I think that they got the ick. And yeah, so now I have a medicine cabinet for fish. I don't understand why these are not sticking in some spots. So sorry to hear that, but I have to admit I suspected that would happen. Did you? From what though? Like just the change, because I didn't do the change. The cycling. I didn't know anything about the cycling. And then, you told me like the 6 weeks that you wait. And so I started looking all this stuff up. Like that was what, 2 weeks ago. I have watched so many videos and read so much information on fish. Now, that was the one little tank. The other tank, they didn't get they didn't get cycled properly. And maybe I've just gotten lucky with them. Maybe they're hardier fish. I don't know, but knock on wood, those are still going. Um, but yeah. Hey Charity, welcome in. Good to see you. Well, I think it was the ick because, um, like I didn't think about it, but then when I was reading stuff, um, it said that could do it, and so the last one did have those little spots on them. Because I think it was like earlier that day, I had asked Hubs, I'm like, what is those spots? Like, what is that? And he's like, I don't know. It's probably part of the fish. Well, I started looking and it said that, and so I started looking up images, and I was like, that's what it is. Um, or that's what it was, because I couldn't remember if it was like right before or right after. But yeah, so very sad, very sad. So yeah, so I have the one tank now, and um, like I said, I've read and watched so much information that I don't know how much of it I will actually retain, and I've bought so many of the the medicines, like I bought like the stuff that you told me to buy. I bought other stuff. Um, I guess just to try to keep them healthy. But one of them was the beta. It was my what was he called? The He was a long tail dragon scale, and he was beautiful. His name was Tinkerbell. And girl, I cried like a baby. I went up and I woke up Hubs because I hadn't been upstairs or to sleep or anything yet because I was worried about the fish, and I needed to do something. I went up there and I woke him up and I told him like the fish are dead, and he was pretty upset about it, right? And I told him, I said there's one left, and so he's like, well, what is it? What, like trying. And then he looked at me and he asked me about Tinkerbell, and I was like, yeah. And I just boohooed. He just hugged me. He's like, Jackie, it's gonna happen. I told you about this at the fish store. And I'm like, I know. But I was sad about all the fish, but I think a lot with Tinkerbell just because I don't know if betas, they have such a great personality. So like I feel like we had like, we had a thing, right? But so yeah, it has been a while. If they already had spots, they had it long before you got. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That we, because that was the second batch that we got. Like we went and we got the first batch, and then we wanted more, and so we went and we got more. And thankfully, all those new ones all went into that other tank that we didn't decide to mix them or anything because they would have all probably been gone. So we want to get, I don't know, I'm not sure if I told you, like I want to make like a little wall of betas. But I feel like I need so much more experience. But I want to do it because I want to rescue them now. But then I'm like, but I need more experience, and I'm like, and Hubs is like, it's fine, just get them now. And I'm like, but look at what we did to Tinkerbell. And he's like, okay. He goes, the way I see, he goes, you're looking at it in a negative way. He goes, the way I see it is Tinkerbell was in that little cup for 4 months. Those little cups like that they keep them in at the store. He goes, Tinkerbell was in that little cup for 4 months with no room to do anything. He said he died happy. He said he was out of that jail. He had all the room. He goes, he had a happy 2 weeks, you know? And I'm like, yeah, I guess you can look at it that way, but still, now he's gone. He could have lived however much longer. He goes, yeah, but he was not really living now, was he? I'm like, yeah, but so I mean, he makes sense, right? But still. So, but I do want a wallet. So I've ordered another tank, but it's a little tank, so it's gonna be the 5 gallon, but just for like one fish. Um, and and I am going to do. Now let me ask you this, Charlotte. Oh wait, I saw something about a goldfish, and I didn't read it. Hang on. Remember my goldfish I got last spring? Yeah, only one survived. They all died in the first month. Mm. Thank you all for being here. Thank you very much. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the like button. Let's see. Charity says, Lori, I just got done recording my tutorial and reveal video for the next week. Look at you ahead of time. Make sure to clean the tank they were in very well. Research the best way to disinfect the tank. Yeah, I read where there was like 10% bleach and water, and then rinse, 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 and then like let it dry. I bought egg medicine though too, so they should be dead. Because I put that in there and ran the filter and all that. But what was I gonna ask you? I was gonna ask you something. Oh, the quick start, that is like the good bacteria. So I've been reading that you could put quick start in a new tank, and that then you can put your fish in and you don't have to wait. Like you can put your fish in like right away. What do you know about that? Like I told Hubs, even if that's a thing, I mean, I bought the quick start, but I'm like, even if that's a thing, I think that I would still want to at least let it run for a week. Because I looked up videos, and even like the actual API or API, whatever they are, the brand gives you a video and tells you, do the water, put the quick start in there, and then, you can add your fish. Well, I mean, dechlorinate and all that, and then you can add your fish. And I was like, that sounds really good. Like you can do it right away. And I mean, I did do it right away, right? But I didn't have any of that. So, were they sick? Was it that? Did that happen? Was it just the water not being cycled? But now I have like the bacteria, and I have the ammonia nitrite neutralizers, and I have the like I have all the stuff I can add to the to the water now. Lori says I'm about 3/4 way through my bots tutorial. I just got to my daughter. Miss Kitty is editing for you. a bot's like Nightbot tutorial or another kind of bot? Because I put Stream Elements, I think, bot on my thing, but I never see it show up, so I probably did something wrong. Yes, let it dry in the sun too. You got this, Lori. I love this stitch. Yes, Quick Start will start the cycle much faster. It puts the beneficial bacteria in the tank to colonize the media from the start. I'd run the tank for a few days anyhow. Okay. So my idea of like letting it go for like a week, that's good enough. That should be good enough. Because I really do want to, and the other tank got here today. But we want to do like a wall of them, but my thing is it's like I feel like I need, like I just don't know it all, and I feel like there's so many variables and so many things that can go wrong. I need encouragement. But I mean, how did you get encouragement when you lost 8 fish in like what was it, 24 hours? Like, bot is, oh, okay. Battle of the Stitches, okay. How is Miss Kitty and Little Man doing? And how are you doing? If I didn't already ask. Charlotte, I was telling them earlier, my little prayer, well, Charity too, my little prayer warriors, if y'all can just like add me in to your prayers for a little bit because my back has really been bothering me. God's Desire gave me some stuff to, which I added to my cart so that I can order when I get off of here because I got to add a couple other things, but that should be like muscle relaxers and should help. But I was telling them earlier that I threw my back out twice in the last 10 years, and my back is not out right now, but it's been bothering me for like the last week, and it's just like gotten worse. So it hurts to like sit, which I'm sitting here and I'm talking to y'all, but every once in a while y'all hear me probably like groan a little bit. That's what it is. Like if I turn the wrong way or like if I like go to like sit up straight, it just, so anyway, so I was just asking for y'all to like just pray for me for just a little bit. I don't want to take prayer from anyone else, but I would definitely appreciate, and maybe with that and the stuff that she told me to get, maybe it'll heal. It'll go away quickly. Water changes are so easy in a 10 gallon too. Yeah, I got the pump to put in there to pump the water out, and then you pump the water in because I was just doing it with like different jugs and stuff like that. And I mean, which that was fine, but I figured I got that because I figured if I'm gonna have like a wall of them, like I need, like that's gonna get tiring. But with the pump, you just drop it in. I would be able to do like the whole wall, right? Like just get all the water out, or at least half a wall, and then put the stuff back in, and then I can do the other half, and it wouldn't be, the one by one. And so we tried it. I did a water change today, and it didn't. It wasn't as smooth as I thought it was going to be. Maybe because it was my first one with that pump and the hose and all that. Um, So it wasn't as smooth as it should be, but I figure the more I do it, the better I will get at it. But yeah, because with the 5, you're only taking out like a gallon. So I mean that's pretty easy. Yeah. See, lots of folks say 20-30% water changes, but I always do way more, 50 to 75. Don't you wind up like just getting rid of your bacteria though? The one that we did today was a 50%. And it wasn't even time to do it, but I did my test strip and there was a lot of nitrites in there. So, which which I'm hoping that the fish will be okay tomorrow because I don't know where these nitrites are coming from. Well, I know where they're coming from, but the water is clean. You know, I just changed the water on Sunday, but I checked it today, this afternoon, and so it was high. And so it was at least a 50%. But what I've been doing is just 25%. Charity says, I'm okay. Little man just got over the flu. Aw, I hate he had to go through that. I have to go for a biopsy on the 26th. We'll definitely keep you in the prayers. Biopsy. Miss Kitty is good. Thank you. She says, I will keep you in my prayers. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thanks for answering, Charity. I was editing my video for tomorrow. Oh, no. Oh, thank you, Charlotte. Prayers, Jackie. Hello, Variety. How are you doing? It takes a little practice. Yeah. Did you do yours with the air pumps and hoses like that, or did you do yours manually? And then let me ask you this: the filters that I have in there now are just the filters that come because the fish tanks that I've gotten have been the kits, so like the full kit. Now I know that those strong filters are not good for like the betas, and that's mainly what I'm gonna have. Like I think I'm gonna do them all in 5 gallons. But I think we're getting 5 and 10s. Just because. But the filters that come with them are like supposedly like too strong for the betas. My beta, yeah, it pushes her a little bit, but she's just like all over the place, like she doesn't care. But I've heard a lot about sponge filters. Now, sponge filters are very inexpensive, right? So I would just need like a whole bunch of sponge filters and then however many air pumps to run them. But do you think that's a way to go or just the pump that they come with? Because I can also put like a little, I was thinking of like, I don't know, like some kind of plastic or silicone or something there, like where the water pushes out, kind of just to like slow it down some, so it doesn't like push all the way. But then again, I don't have just the beta in there, I have the other fish too. So the other fish don't seem to mind it at all. Stick. Yes, if you're in here and you want to drop your channel to connect with others, type in hashtag connect. Thank you, Variety, because I forget. And there is his link where he just dropped it. No, the bacteria colonizes on the filtered media. They don't live in the water. So, but you still clean, like today I cleaned out my filter. But what about this? Because the filter that these tanks come with, like I've seen like the ones that have like the 3 filters. Well, it's just the one filter, but the media. So it has this like the foam, and then it has like the one I have, like the ones I have, it has foam in the front, right? And then it has the little disposable filter. And I'm like, but if I'm having to dispose of that filter and I'm not getting rid of, because the filter says to replace every month. So I was thinking about just getting more foam. Actually, I have it in my cart right now. Um, aquarium foam. Does it work? It has the little foam in the front. Can I just put a bigger foam where the other filter goes? And I've seen people that have ceramic, the little ceramic rings, because I'm just thinking that these throwaway filters are not doing much for the tank if it's getting good bacteria, but then you're getting rid of it. If someone is sick in my house, the sisters don't want me at their mom's, but it's why I had this week off. Oh, I mean, I don't blame them. You know, the cat is driving you crazy. That cat has its moments, don't it? I did use the hoses, and on my big one, I used a pond pump and had the hose going to the sink from the. Yeah, that's what we did today. We ran the. Well, I didn't run it to the sink, but I ran it. Well, basically, it wasn't to the sink, but I had two buckets, like the dirty water bucket and the clean water bucket, near the sink. That way, we didn't have to tote it across the house. Um, and so it worked. It worked okay. It could have been better. It'll get better. I know it will. But you got to think with all the pain that I'm in, so like the bending down and the putting the hose and moving the tubes, I was just a huffing and a puffing. And hubby's like, "Why are you even doing this?" Because it has to get done. It has to get done. So, so I feel like if I was in less pain, it probably would have went a little bit better. But yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that disposable. I mean, I guess it is a filter, but yeah. But now I'm like so paranoid about them. Like, like I gotta watch them. I gotta make sure it's okay. And like for example, I was just sitting down and I was like, this is gonna sound ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But I was like, they're acting weird. Like that's not the way they normally swim. Like the beta was fine. She was acting fine. But the other ones, I'm like they don't go that high up normally. Like they're in the middle, they're in the bottom, like they don't go all the way to the top. And I'm like, something's off. And so I did the test strip and the nitrites were like super high. And I'm like, what? Like I just changed the water. Like, why is this happening? So yeah. So I still don't have answers. But I did have the ammonia nitrate neutralizer, which I mean, that's something that says you have to put like every 24 to 48 hours if you still have like the problem. And so I did that big water change and I checked it again and it was still showing really high. So I added that in there and then I checked it again like a little while later. And so the nitrites had come like way down, but it still had some. Um, and so, yeah, I don't know. And I mean, I know initially I was overfeeding them, but I'm not overfeeding them now because the more and more I learn, that's a problem. So, I don't know. But yeah, thank you for your recommendations and stuff on the fish because I'm glad I had some of that stuff well, you recommended some, and then I looked up some stuff, but I had some of the stuff that I was able actually to use tonight, instead of having to wait because I would have just been worried the whole time. I mean, I still kinda am, like I wanna see them okay in the morning, but maybe I wasn't ready for pets again. I thought I was, but yeah, the old don't eat, yeah. So, I mean, I did have that problem initially, but I don't overfeed them now. I put it in there, and they're eating it right up. Like, I'm giving them, like, their 2 minutes, and they're done. So I know I'm not giving them extra food. So, I mean, as much as an experienced fish keeper can know, right? And I was telling Hubs, like, all the stuff, like, you told me to get and stuff, and then, like, all the stuff that I've been reading and watching, and, "Charity, what is the cat doing?" And, I was like "But we had that huge tank," you know? And I'm like, "We didn't have, like, all these issues and stuff like that," and it was, like, our tank, right? Because, I mean, it was in our home, but, like, I only ever, like, if he needed my help to do something, I would, like, assist him in doing something. Other than that, I didn't do anything with the fish other than watch them, and, so I was telling him all this stuff, and he's like and now granted, in his defense, golly, it's been over 20 years. So, um, he's like he's like, "I don't know that I did any of that." He goes, "I got the tank, I did the stuff that I was supposed to do in there, and I put the fish in, and then, of course, like, the water changes and stuff." But he goes, "Maybe we just got lucky." I'm like, "I don't know, but, like, we didn't have these issues." Maybe I don't remember what kind of fish we had. Maybe the fish were just hardier. I don't know. You just didn't have all the knowledge you needed. You're getting it now. Yeah, too much at once, though, 'cause let me tell you, like, I'll watch, like, if I can't sleep or, like, if I wake like, okay, you woke up in the middle of the night and you're watching me. Like, if I wake up in the middle of the night, like, I'll go, like, read about I've been falling asleep, like, when was I watching you? Monday night. I was like, I can keep my eyes open, but I fell asleep with y'all in my ear, and then I don't know who said something, but it woke me up, and then that's when I was like, "Good night." But then if I wake up and which I went to sleep, right? But then I woke up later and for hours, just all this YouTube stuff. But the thing that bothers me with the YouTube stuff is that so many people say so many different things, and I'm like, I'm just learning. And so to get, like, conflicting information and different information, I'm like, I don't know that I like that. And you can't trust a fish store because, they'll sell you a little beta tank that's divided in two, and the whole darn thing is only like 2.5 gallons. So that means that your beta only has 1.25 gallons. And apparently the bare minimum that they can that they should be in is 3, is like most of the stuff that I'm reading. But everything suggests That's like the bare minimum, but then a lot of things suggest that the minimum is 5. And so I'm like, but yet at the pet store, they're gonna sell me a 2.5 that's divided into 2, like, really? So, I mean, you can't trust them, they're just in it for the money, they don't care. They don't care how many fish don't survive because 'cause you're just gonna they're hoping you come and get more, you know? So, where did I drop that? There it is. You love sponge filters. She keeps scratching on her food container. She has already been fed this evening. She's like, feed me, I'm hungry." Going to the sink to make What I like about the idea of the sponge filters is that, if you have 2 in 1 tank and then, you could set up you setting up a new tank, bam, put that in it, that's gonna make it go even that much faster. And then I don't know what is it? Is it an air rock, an air something? I think I might need to get some of those, I'm not sure. However, yeah, use bigger. You gotta do, hashtag connect. I probably did slur my speech. Still spooked by horror in the high desert. Oh my gosh. So I haven't watched any of the other ones because I thought it was all true. And then when I actually started reading and all that, and it's not like, I mean, some of the stuff is based, but not all of it. I was like, I'm not, that's not getting any more of my time. Still spooked for me. Yeah, it was something. It was definitely something. Especially when he had the camera on the cabin and like there was nothing there, but then like it looked away and then he came back and there was like something there and then it started walking towards him like, oh my goodness. Like what? Ugh. I got a chill just then. Like what in the world? Foam and media balls. Okay, I have foam in the car. I don't have media balls in the car. I never use disposable. Well, that's what I was thinking, and that's what they came with. And I've been meaning to talk to you because I figure you would have good information. Um, media balls. What are the media balls? Are those like those ceramic little rings that they're like media balls? Because then that way I can just wash all my stuff and I'm not having to get rid of any of my bacteria, right? Yeah, yeah, in the tank water, not for, yeah. And that I do know. I mean, I didn't know that a few weeks ago. I know that now. But I did know that from before I ever did the first water change. I thankfully I knew that, so I would have been even more messed up. No, it was hurting before the buckets. It was hurting before the buckets. But that did not make it any better. I only moved a few buckets. I didn't do like today I didn't do like the heavy buckets. Hubby did that. Um but just even like the squatting to get the pump or the tube like where it needs to be, like Now I did mess. I mean, obviously, I've done several water cleanings, and it was before the pump, and I did have the bucket. But I want to say he carried the buckets, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you. I'm trying to get it done because this is one that I was gonna do um, for Christmas, and I kitted it up and everything, and then I was like, "Oh, I didn't get it done by Christmas," and then it came live 2 weeks ago, and so I worked on it because it was already kitted up, right? I didn't wanna have to put everything away, I just wanna get it done. But I worked on it those 2 days, and that was it, and so but I've been doing a lot of talking today, so I'm not and looking up at the screen, so I haven't gotten a lot done, but I really just wanna get it done so I can get it out of my way and get something else out. But thank you very much. I thought he was adorable. I bought him last year on one of those, Hobby Lobby clearances. Media balls. I haven't worked on any in a while. Yeah, I hadn't either. Like, I was off of YouTube for like 2 months, maybe a little bit more than 2 months, and I did almost no crafting whatsoever. I didn't have the time, I didn't have the energy. I was just almost nothing. And then I came back and I came with him and I worked on him those 2 nights and that was it. And then last week I meant to come on, but I ran out of time and I couldn't come on. Um, and even today I wasn't, um, by the time I had time, it was like, I think it was like 11 or 11:30 or something like that. And then I got on YouTube and I was like, "Oh, there's so many people on," so I waited, and then I was like, "Okay, at midnight, I'm gonna go on," but because there was crochet folks on, I was like, "I'll just diamond paint because 'cause I'm working on my Green Bay blanket, and so I was like, "Okay, I'll work on that because I wanna finish it," but then because there were so many crochet folks, I didn't wanna, like, you know, interfere with anything, so I was like, I'll there was nobody diamond painting, so I was like, "I'll diamond paint." But yeah, I went for a while without any crafting. I haven't worked I've been working on a lot of blankets. Are you selling the blankets? Are they, like, commissioned, or you're just making them to gift? Yep, they act weird when the water is off. Good ca Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's what I told Tubby. I was like, "I know it sounds ridiculous." I said, "But I was sitting here, and this is, basically what I told y'all." And I'm like, "I need to check." And I checked, and, you know, I got, like, all the things out and ready, and he walked in the door, I was like, "I need your help." So he goes, "What?" And so I told him, and he was like, "Oh, okay." Of course, that became, his priority at that time. That old onion. Now, what I have not done is I have not gotten a vacuum, so I have not vacuumed the substrate, but it's my understanding that you can do your weekly water changes and then just do your substrate like the once a month, or is that incorrect? And I didn't purchase the vacuum because I was gonna redo like the whole tank where I was gonna do like with soil and then cap it with the sand because I want it to be like all natural. Um, but I'm not gonna, all natural as far as like growing plants and stuff. I'm not gonna do the soil. So in that 10-gallon, I'm just gonna leave the gravel like it is, because it's like neon gravel, because the glowfish are in there. And so I'm gonna leave that one the way it is. I'm gonna put the floater plants on the top on that one, and I may put some anubias and stuff in there, since they don't require to, they don't require like they don't get anything from the substrate. It would all be from the water column. So I think I am gonna add some things in there once I move Beauty. That's the beta. Once I move Beauty from there, I'm gonna, well, no, I'm gonna probably add that stuff before I move her, because that I ordered and that stuff should be here tomorrow or today. But for the other tanks that the one that I'm gonna redo and then the new one, I'm gonna just I'm not gonna put soil down. I'm gonna just and I'm not gonna do sand. I'm gonna do, um, I'm gonna do gravel, but I'm gonna do the smaller gravel, not like the gravel that is there now. And like just like in a beigey color, like a sandy color. And then do the same thing with those, with just the plants that use the water column for fertilizer. And I think that that's definitely going to help, because they're going to be using that nitrate and that ammonia up, that's going to feed the plants. So I think that that will help. But I don't know that it'll help enough, because see, when I was going to do the sand and the soil, their waste and their food would go into the sand, go into the soil, and basically like in the garden, it would just, basically like compost itself, right? And it would get used by the plants. But since I'm not doing that now, I'm thinking that I do have to do the gravel. But if so, how often? Large tanks don't need as much maintenance due to the volume of water. The one thing you have to watch out for in a big tank is too many fish. I don't have a big tank. They're all going to be 5 or 10. I don't think I can handle a big one. A 5 or 10, but and I'm not planning, like, the 5 is just for the beta. Who knows? Maybe some 10s might be just for the beta. But what I was thinking about the 10s was I can apparently not all betas get along with other tank mates, like not other betas, but other tank mates. So I think we got lucky in as the 2 that we got, where they've gotten along. Well, I don't know that they've gotten along, but they're not bothered. They don't bother them, and they don't bother each other. So I think we've gotten lucky on that part. So initially, because we're like, okay, we'll move Beauty, but then we're like, Beauty seems to be pretty content where she's at. So maybe we can get 2 new ones. So I don't know. There's so much up in the air. But I think we're sticking to 5 and 10s, because I thought, well, we could get another, like another school and see of something. And then I think I'm going to get a smaller tank just for shrimp. They don't need a lot of room. So I think what I've read is they can be in like I was looking at a 3.5. And so I think they can be in there just fine, but I haven't looked a lot into that, because like the fish is my first priority. Because that's what I thought too. I'm like, if we get let's see, takes so many fish, the more waste, the more nitrate, equal more water changes. Oh, you got a hedgehog. That's what Granny would have wished she got. She likes the hedgehog. Oh, she likes the hedgehog, and she likes what is it? The badger. Sonic is back. I'll connect with Charity. She just dropped at Frog. Yes, you can buy foam filters that include a space for the balls. So it would be like a foam filter with a hole in the middle for the balls. Because I mean, in my filter now, I have, I have space for the foam and then for that disposable one, and they go in like that. I don't know if there's any room back there. I'd have to look again, because I mean it's pretty big, but like I said, I don't know what's back there. Because what I was thinking was I just take out that disposable one, and I can put the ceramic things on the because it's however like that tall maybe, and like put that little ceramic bag or whatever with those rings, and then put more foam up here. But I didn't see any foam with like holes for balls or anything like that. I'll send. Okay, thank you. From Amazon. Okay, thank you very much. Sherry says, good night, y'all. Miss Kitty and I are going to clean the church tomorrow and need to get back in time to get little man off the bus. You have a wonderful and blessed night, Charity. Thank you for stopping in. Hope to see you soon. I'll be back on tonight if you want to stop in for a little bit, but I don't know what time, because I'm switching my things up a little bit, so it'll most likely be after 10 or 10:30 p.m. Eastern. And Nightbot says, bye, Frog Crochet. We have a lot to do. We have to put away Christmas decorations finally. Leave that tree out and decorate it for Valentine's Day. It's weird how Thursday nights get packed, right? Like so much. Making the blankets to give to a family in North Carolina. Oh yeah. Did you? Well, I know you gotta go to bed. Did you finish that beautiful blanket that you've been working on for a while? The like red and pink and mauve that you were doing a crochet along. Have one more blanket to go. It will be a total of 4 blankets when I'm done. I did my vacuuming when the sand gravel looked dirty. I prefer sand or bare bottom. I don't know how I feel about bare bottom. Why do you prefer sand to gravel? Because see, that's what I was gonna do, right? I was gonna do the sand for one, because I'm looking forward to having like several more tanks, and that would just be more cost effective. But a lot of the stuff that I kept reading was talking about how the sand is not that good to clean. Like you have to like poke your sand or something, because like pockets will develop in it, and if whatever's in the pocket gets out, like breaks the surface of the sand and gets out, it's like poison to the fish. And so I was like, well, I don't want something else to have to worry about and think about, so we're not going to do sand. But sand was what I was thinking I wanted with, because I don't know, it looks good, it looks natural, which is why, if doing the gravel, I'm thinking of the sand colored gravel, and because I want it to look natural, but I don't want it to be difficult to clean, and I don't want to have to like be poking anything just to not poison the fish. If you vacuum with sand, put pantyhose at the end of the nozzle to keep from. Oh, okay. And with the sand, wouldn't it be easier with the sand because most of that the food and the stuff is gonna stay right on that top layer? And then you can just come in and just quickly vacuum it instead of having to, you know how they do the gravel and you're having to like poke down and lift all the gravel in each little section. But what about having to poke the sand and let the poison out or not let the poison out or not let the poison build up? I told you I read too much. Use a pet bottles or in a hydroponic cup and hang it on the side of the tank. I I don't know what I was trying to copy that message so I can look into that later, but it's not letting me copy it. It's gonna like copy it and paste it for later. Because I don't. Oh, philodendron, that's a plant, right? Yeah, okay, those are plants in a hydroponic cup and hang it on the side of the tank. Do so those require how do they get to the water? I know y'all came for diamond painting, y'all getting a lot of fish stuff, but it is what it is. I gotta learn about fish. I just like the look of sand over gravel. I just stir up the sand every few days. Yes, food and waste stay somewhat on top. Oh, stuck. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up these. Let me look it up real quick. The media balls. Oh no, I don't want to check out. Let's go back. Filter media bags. Bio balls. Oh, so are those filled with carbon or you? I don't think I want to use carbon. Yeah. Filter bio balls filtration. Okay, I'm gonna have to look because right below them there's the ceramic rings. I'm gonna have to look at both of them and see. I don't think I want carbon. Biofilter balls, biological filtration. See what you say. It's all C cereal. What do you do? Yeah, that filter is definitely way different than my filter. filter foam, polishing filter pad. I don't even know what's a polishing filter pad, like. All right, the cup was in the water with the roots, and the vine grew up out of the water. Okay, but with no soil or anything, so just see, I'm gonna do that, but with the roots actually in the water, and like the fish can swim with the roots. And again, there's some that you would have to cut, like the roots, they grow so quickly that you would have to cut like the roots like weekly. But I'm getting the ones that are slower growers, so that I won't have to do it as often. But yeah, that cup idea. But then again, you didn't have a lid on it. See, I have to have a lid because betas jump. I mean, I know other fish jump too, but I guess they're pretty good jumpers. Water fed the plants. Plants filter the water. Win-win for yes, yes. Yeah, that's why I want to add all those plants in there. I never use carbon. The balls are little for the good bacteria. Carbon also will filter out any medications you add to the. Okay, so yeah, so I don't want carbon because I add the medication. I want it to be there, right? So you don't need a big filter pad if you use sponge filter. But I may not do the sponge filter if I'm going to do the foam. And then with whatever I'm going to put back there, because it already has a thin foam. And so then I was going to, where it has the disposable one, I was going to put a thicker, I think it's thicker foam, that I was getting off of Amazon. And then either on the bottom of, I think on the bottom of that foam, the foam wouldn't take up all the room that the disposable takes, because I was going to put like the ceramic rings on the bottom, like in a little bag or something, put them down there, and then put the thicker foam. But then I just saw what I just read now, that, what did I say it was? That I was like, what is that? No soil. Did you see the filter? No, I did not. Let's see. For those of you that are still here listening to talk about fish, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Oh, okay. So, okay, this is a lot different than the sponge filters that I have seen. The sponge filters that I have seen were just like that black part with then the hose coming out through the middle of it, the tube coming out through the middle of it, and then you hook it up to the pump. So this is different. So this is a sponge filter, but let's see. Quiet bubble filter, 3 sponges, and 1 bag of filter ceramic balls for salt water and fresh water, not included air pump. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely not what I was looking at. Do you know what I was talking about? The ones where it's just the sponge with the um tube sticking out of it, which I'm like, I mean, people say it works great, but I'm like, but it's just a sponge, so there's nothing, like what's filtering, right? But this has balls that filter. Well, no, the balls are not filtering nothing. The sponge is filtering the okay, so this is the same. This is ceramic balls instead of ceramic rings. Okay, okay. High density sponge can effectively filter and absorb impurities in water. The biological filter balls can cultivate nitrifying bacteria, which can break down harmful chemicals in the water. Require cleaning. Quarter cylinders versus well, both have the same volume and have the same filtration effect. Quarter can be close to the wall of the fish tank, although the volume is the same, but the perfect use of space compared with the cylinder. I like this because it increases the oxygen. Um, so if your water, like with my water and the nitrates earlier, they would have still been, it would have been pumping oxygen in there. And it says the small is for 20 gallon. Would that be okay for the 5 and the 10? And I've seen people make their own, like like in a mason jar, and then they put the media on the bottom and stuff, and then the tube. And I'm like, I don't understand how it's working, but it's just like with this one, I don't really understand how it works. But yeah, yeah, it aerates. Yeah, I read that. Aerates the water. Yes, I have 2 of the kinds you're talking about in my pond. Now, how often do you have to change these out? Like, I mean, I know you have to clean the sponge part, but how um because basically this idea was kind of like what I was going to do with the filter that already comes with the hang on back filter that already comes with it, with the ceramic and then the extra sponge. Um the only thing with that is it does not aerate it at all. But it was the same kind of idea. But these, you only have to, let's see exactly, exactly. It would be perfect for the 10. I didn't check measurements, but I think it's okay for the 5. Yeah, 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 it is. Because well, it has different numbers. It says a small and then a small and then a medium. So the okay, so the A011, okay, 3 to 20 gallons. And then the 01 is also a small, but 10 to 40 gallons. Okay, so that would work perfect. Which would be the one that only has the one, not the one that has the other 2 have the 2. Okay. And it's only as far as width goes on that smaller one is 2.6 inches and the height is 5.8 inches. So yeah, so that'll work pretty good in the corner. And you don't have to, that would be good for like for a really long time, right? Because you just have to wash it till it started like, I guess to whenever it started deteriorating. Yeah, so what did I say? Let me go back. I must be getting tired because I just read that. Yeah, because that tiny one says 3 to 20. So if I'm only gonna have 5 and 10, that one should be fine, I would think. And maybe I want to put the 10 to 40 in the 10 gallons and put the 3 to 20 in the 5 gallons, maybe. I think it's niche. After your cycle is established, rinse once a week. Okay, rinse once a week. But do I have to like? How often do I have to replace? Like, I don't have to replace that like every 3 months or something like that, right? I can keep that for years till I actually see it not picking up or something. All right, I think I've done so much talking. This little doggy's not gonna get done. No time limit as long as, okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay. See, so much good information. And I'm gonna get off of here because I've got to use the restroom, and then I need to put some of those filters in my cart. And those, well, they come with ceramic. I should get some extra ceramic balls though, right? And then that way I can go ahead and order my stuff and it can get here. Or because I'm taking a leave. I'm taking a lot of leaves actually. But I'm hoping that stuff that what she told me to get, it's teas. I'm gonna make a tea out of it, but I'm hoping that it really relieves my pain, and I'm gonna definitely order that before I go to bed. I don't need extra. Okay. I am using, they are fine. Oops. I do no limit times. They do get clogged eventually, but I had my filters in my pond for a year now. Okay, they are fine. Yeah, and I mean, you have the pond with this, they're going to be in smaller areas. I mean, you do only have one fish though, but it's filtering out like probably a lot more since it's outside. Using two 10-gallon foam filters. Don't need extra. Those balls last a long time. Okay, okay. Because the balls, or it said they don't need to be washed. That's gonna just keep all the good bacteria. Okay, so I'm gonna add some of those. All right. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for staying with me, even though I've been talking about fish for like however long. Thank you for your suggestion. I'm not sure who all is in here, but thank you all very much for sticking with me. I appreciate y'all. Um, I believe I am going to go live tonight. Um, it'll probably be after 10:30, maybe. I'm hoping to maybe do a, where you can get notified, like do like a little picture and stuff. But I don't know if I'll get to that because I may run out of time. But thank you all for being here again. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed night. I appreciate every single one of you. Um, have a wonderful and blessed night. Bye.